So I feel like if you are trying a new foundation, you should give it a fair go by sticking to your everyday skincare and also your usual primer. So I'm going in with my Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base, and I'm just going to add a few drops of my SK2 Facial Treatment Essence. So I mix this together all in the palm of my hand and I press it into my skin. You don't really need to rub your products into your skin. Your skin does a really good job at absorbing product on its own. Moving on to primer. My usual primer is the Too Faced Hangover Primer, and I quite like this one because I have a drier skin type. And when I tend to use foundations with a fuller coverage or are quite long lasting, they can be quite tight and drying on my skin, which is why I rely on this baby just to keep my skin feeling comfortable all day. I like to use 2 pumps. And I just squeeze that on my fingertips and just work it in between my fingertips, and I apply it on my nose, so pretty much at the center of my face, and then I work the product outwards onto my cheeks, my chin, and on my jawline. So this is the foundation that I will be reviewing today. It is the Power Fabric Longwear High Coverage Foundation by Giorgio Armani, and it has an SPF of 25. So this foundation claims to have a revolutionary formula, which is long wearing, that doesn't cake or settle into fine lines. Now that is a big claim to make, which is why I was eager to put this foundation to the test. You guys might be sick and tired of seeing a review on the new Giorgio Armani foundation. I know there might be thousands right now up on the internet for you to read, for you to watch, but most of the people that I have watched who reviewed this foundation, they didn't really have problematic skin. So I just wanted to see how well this foundation performed on problematic skin that had a few flaws and blemishes to conceal. Moving on, I'm pretty sure that my base has settled. Let's start applying this foundation. The pamphlet says this foundation is best applied using a buffing brush. So I am using one of my favorite buffing brushes at the moment. This is the Heavenly Luxe Flawless Foundation Brush by IT Cosmetics. It is so soft, but it's quite dense, and it's really good at blending out product. So I just have 2 pumps on the back of my hand. I don't know if I need less, don't know if I need more. We'll see just how far 2 pumps will take us. I'm just gonna dab the foundation brush into the foundation. And I like to stipple my foundation on first, and then I'll just buff it out. So far this foundation is quite easy to blend. I mean, I'm just stippling it onto my face. I haven't really buffed it in to my skin. So I'm quite impressed at just how well this foundation goes on. It actually doesn't smell like anything. It literally just smells like makeup. It doesn't have a strong scent. There's no fragrance to it, which I quite like because I'm not a fan of those heavily fragranted foundations. I think they're just too over the top and they're not very pleasant in my opinion. So I quite like this for the fact that there's no scent. I mean, compared to the Luminous Silk, I feel like this shade matches me better. I feel like this shade range is so much better than the Luminous Silk. When I was, swatching my shade and trying to find the right shade in the Luminous Silk, I did find that it was more on the orange side, so it was definitely too warm for me. I did have to use more product and drag it onto my neck just to make sure that it matched. With this one, however, it's more of a yellow undertone. It goes with my skin tone and I don't have to use as much product, but I do feel like this foundation could take over the Luminous Silk and be one of my everyday foundations, but we'll see how it wears. I feel like I have an advantage because I do have a dry skin type and it holds onto product so well. I'm gonna go ahead and finish off my face and I will check back with you guys in about 3 hours. It's currently 11:51. I applied my makeup around about 7:30, 8 o'clock, so it's been about 4 hours or so, and so far it's looking pretty good. Like I said before, I do have an advantage because I do have a drier skin type, so my makeup isn't going to move a lot throughout the day. The coverage is still quite good. It hasn't really rubbed off. I didn't actually apply any concealer on my spots. I really wanted to see just how well this foundation would wear throughout the day. So far it hasn't rubbed off or my skin hasn't absorbed it. It looks pretty good, pretty flawless. It just looks like I've applied it even though it's been 4 hours. I feel like the true test would be when I come back at like 5 p.m, 6 p.m. and just update you guys on how I go. So I'm going to go ahead and go to an event, do some of my groceries, and then check my PO box and then go to my office. Oh my God, there's so much to do today. And then I'll check back with you later on tonight. So guys, it's now 4:45 and I'm checking in with you at the end of the day. It's definitely been a full day of me wearing this foundation and giving it a go. And so far, I'm actually really impressed. Towards the center of my face, the product looks quite flawless. My skin looks very smooth and it looks like it hasn't moved much. But on my jaw and on my cheek area, the product has rubbed off. And I do blame myself and my annoying habits of touching my face. I have definitely moved the product myself, which is why you can see some of my post-acne marks, some of my active breakouts. As I did mention, I feel like I do have an advantage because I do have a drier skin type. So foundations just tend to stay put on me. They don't move, they don't budge much. The only time like a foundation would be moved or rubbed is because I myself have touched my face or I've rubbed my face against something. Otherwise, I highly recommend this foundation. It is quite comfortable to wear despite the fact that it is a fuller coverage long wear foundation. I have dry skin. It doesn't feel tight. It doesn't feel uncomfortable. It hasn't settled in my laugh lines. It hasn't really settled anywhere, which I thought it was going to do, but it hasn't. I've also been wearing reading glasses or vision glasses throughout the day. And since I've applied like a light layer of makeup around my nose area, even though there was like imprints of my glasses on my face, it hasn't really moved the product. So I'm really impressed. Would I recommend this foundation for its price point? Do I feel like it's worth it? 100% yes. I do feel like I will be reaching for this more than my Luminous Silk, simply because it is a more smoothing foundation. And because of the actual shade, it is a better match for me than the Luminous Silk. I did manage to find a shade that matches me perfectly, whereas the shade that I have in the Luminous Silk, the closest shade that I can find to my skin tone is still a bit too warm and too orange. So yes, I will definitely be reaching for this foundation a lot more than my Luminous Silk. And that's it guys. I really hope you enjoyed today's review and demo on the new Giorgio Armani Power Fabric Long Wear High Coverage Foundation. I hope you found it very informative and very helpful. And if you are new to my channel, then be sure to hit that subscribe button and also that little bell button right next to it so you can be notified every single time I upload a video. When I'm not uploading on YouTube, you can find me on Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, or Twitter. So be sure to add me, to follow me, let's have a chat, and I'll leave all my information and all my handles down below in the description box. I hope you guys have an amazing day and I'll see you all in my next video. I love you guys. Mwah. Bye.